Okay, we are going to start lesson 2 of chapter 4. Changing the environment starts on page 122. Um, we have some new vocabulary words to take a look at: modify, tunnel, canal, terrace, irrigation, dam, and reservoir. So as we read, we're going to take a look at those and what they mean. So people are affected by their environment. We've talked about that, where we live, the weather, the landscape, all that affects where and how we live. People modify or change. So modify means to change their environment to meet their needs or do their jobs. They add human features such as buildings, roads, farms, and mines. So if we were to move out west to the prairie and there is no home for me, then I'm going to change that landscape by building my home on that land, so that way I can use the land to the best of my ability. So we're going to take a look at transportation. Today, much of Earth is covered with roads, highways, bridges, and railroads. People add these features to the environment for transportation. Building a new road or bridge is a huge project. It takes many workers, a lot of money, and time. Digging tunnels is one way to speed up transportation. A tunnel is a path that runs under something. A channel tunnel or shuttle lets high-speed trains travel under the waterway between Britain and France. The trip takes only 20 to 35 minutes. So think of a tunnel or a channel tunnel, okay? If you've ever ridden the subway, okay, and you go underground on a train-like thing, okay, that is a tunnel, okay? That's one way that we use tunnels. Or the channel tunnel is a tunnel that is underwater. So Great Britain and France are separated by water. So it used to be the only way to get there would be by boat or plane. Well, now they have a tunnel that goes under the water, and it allows you to go from Great Britain to France underwater in the tunnel. Okay, so it's almost like a subway, kind of think of that, underwater. Okay, that's the best way for me to connect it for y'all. Building canals is another way to speed up transportation. A canal is a waterway dug across land. The Panama Canal cuts across the narrow strip of land that connects North America and South America. The canal was built to let ships travel a shorter distance between the Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. The canal trip takes 8 to 10 hours, but this is much faster than sailing around South Africa. So you have North America, South America. Used to be, if you were up here in North America and you had to get to the other side for something, you'd have to go all the way around South America by boat just to get to the other side. Well, North America and South America are connected, right? So what they've done is right in this little skinny part where they're connected, they've dug an area out. So instead of it being totally connected by land, there's a little opening. So now people have a little cut through right there. So instead of having to go all the way around the bottom to go this way, they can now go through that little shortcut and go out that way. So we just cut all this time out going around South America. We've cut that all out because now North America and South America aren't connected anymore. There's a little cut through and they can just go right through there. Okay, so that's a canal. We have canals in the US, in New York, the Erie Canal. So we have other canals that we can use, and it's just a little cut through. You dig out a strip of land and it fills with water, and you have like a little waterway that you can travel through on boat. Okay. All right, turn to page 124. We're going to talk about farms and mines. We've talked about farms before. So farming information is not new, but we have some new vocabulary that we need to look at. People modify land to use natural resources. Farming and mining can greatly changed the way the environment looks. To grow crops, farmers clear the land, meaning cut down trees, take out bushes, whatever needs to be done. Then they plow or turn over the soil to plant seeds. So they dig up the soil so it's nice and loose. Think of when you plant flowers in a garden. Okay, if it's everything's packed down tight, you can't put the seeds in. So you have to plow it or turn it up, stir it up so it's nice and loose, and then you can plant the seeds. They might also build fences for raising animals. All over the world, people modify their environments for farming. Long ago in Peru, people of the Inca culture found a way to farm on the sides of mountains. They built terraces, which look like giant stairs, out of hillsides. Crops were still grown on terraces today. So, if you look at your picture down here in the bottom, okay, over here you see what looks like steps, okay? And they're not like skinny steps like what you might have at your house. Like they're probably several feet wide. And so on each so-called step where it's flat, you can plant crops there, and then you go up to the next step and plant crops there, go up to the next step and plant crops there. Because think about a mountain. A mountain is at an angle. You can't plant and grow things on an angle. So you would have to cut in and make a step, and make a step, right? So you're still going up the mountain, but there's flat areas where they can plant their crops. People have also found ways to farm dry land or to water their crops during dry weather. They use irrigation to water their crops. Irrigation is the moving of water to dry areas. So if you look at your top picture up here, okay, you have these pipes, okay? This is, people, remember, try to farm and live near lakes, rivers, streams, those kind of things, so they can use the water to cook, bathe, farm, because remember, without water, our crops won't grow and we won't have food. So here you have a picture of, it looks like a stream or a river or something, and you have farmland back here. Well, to get the water here, what you do is you take the pipes and you're pumping the water from the river into your farmland to fill up your farmland with water when it's not going to rain. Okay, so that way you still get your crops watered. Think about like your sink, right? You don't have to go outside and get water from a river or a lake or a stream. You turn on your water, your faucet, and you get water. Well, that water's coming from somewhere. Your pipes go way down deep in the ground into a place that holds your water. So when you turn on your faucet, that it pulls the water up and it gives you your water. So it's the same idea here as in your sink, instead of having to travel with lots and lots of buckets of water. Page 125 is mining. People create mines to get minerals from beneath Earth's surface. These mines can be either deep tunnels dug into the ground or open pit mines. Open pit mines are carved into the surface by earth-moving machines, and that's the picture that you see at the top of page 125. Open pit mines are also used to get stone from the land. Stone is used for making buildings and roads. Small stones called gravel are spread over roads before they are paved. People use a type of stone called limestone to make other building supplies as cement. So we've talked about using stone, the natural resource, to make walls and buildings and those kind of things when we talked about things from the earth before. And we talked about how we got them, but now we have a picture that illustrates, okay, how we get them. We just don't go up and, pick a rock off the ground and say, oh, we're going to use this. We dig in what's called mines to find what we need. This is how we get things like coal and other things like that. We dig and we find it and we take it out of the ground. Okay, so that's the first part of lesson 2. In the next video, we'll continue with the second part, and then you'll have some activities to do with that.